This is adopted at a convention every 2 years, and this is our current one, and please take this home with you and advertise our public policy positions, and the reps will have one now, hopefully. So we had a question right here.
I have kind of an and/or two-part question. The first is, in what ways do you see gender disparities within the state legislature? And the second is, what advice would you have for women that might consider running for office?
Okay. Oh, you know what? I expected, being a woman and being one of the only women, and I'm sure Chris kind of expected this too, I expected it was going to be more difficult. And I also felt like I was really going to be having more of a problem, because not only was I a woman, but I'm an older woman, And so I think that comes with certain prejudices. I will say this, that I think we have to try a little harder sometimes I have to try harder to look perkier. I don't have to use more makeup. I have to sit with my, I find myself using the same strategies I used on Novi City Council, leaning forward and raising my eyebrows so that I look like I'm engaged in the conversation. It's like I expected that there would be much more prejudice, or there would be prejudice, and I am happy to tell you it is nothing at all like I expected. I really am considered one of the guys. I'm one of the guys. And I've always felt like I don't go into meetings either on the county commission, because I was one of the few women there. Same with city council, I was one of only two. I don't go in with a chip on my shoulder and expect that people are going to have to do bowing or something or other to me because I'm a woman. I don't want people to even vote for me because I'm a woman. I want them to vote for me because they think I'm the best person for the job. And I have a lot to offer. But it wasn't what I expected, and I was pleasantly surprised.
I have a little different take. In the Democratic caucus, we have 17 women out of 47 representatives, so we're over a third of the caucus, and that makes a big difference. You start finding that your voice gets heard a little bit more as a group, that you get together. We actually formed the Progressive Women's Caucus so that we can come together and talk specifically about issues with women and families, and we focus a lot on economic issues as well. The leadership, if you look at it in the House and in the Senate, is very male-dominated. And you can tell the ramifications of that. What bills get heard, what attention to. That, again, was one of the reasons I ran, is because I wanted to make sure my seat stayed with a woman. Vicki Barnett was my predecessor, because it does matter how many women you have in terms of the tone of the conversation, the focus of the conversation. And until we get more women, so we're over a third in our caucus, but I think as Kathy mentioned, there's only 9 women on the Republican side out of 61. Overall, that's 20%. 20% of the House are women. We're 52 or 53% of the electorate. It makes a difference. And that's one of the things that I do. I should say, I've always, having 7 brothers, 4 sisters, going to Notre Dame, going in the technology field, I've always been surrounded by men. I love men. But I know when I'm being treated differently. And you are, in different ways treated. And a lot of times the guys don't know they're doing it. They really don't. So we need more women there to show how it's supposed to be done. I've had to actually stop people that have interrupted me in a conversation. They didn't even have any idea they were doing it. I'm like, excuse me, talking, and it does, and I honestly, they're all good guys, they're all good men, but they really don't realize they're doing it until we get more women there. It's not going to change. I really don't think it's going to change. So I've done a lot. I've tried to do a lot to encourage women to run. We have a lot of programs, because one of the first things I did, and part of this was my project management consulting background, I got trained. And there's a lot of training out there for women that want to run, because we do have different styles when we run, the way we talk, the way we raise money, things like that. It's very different by gender, and so there's very specific training you can go to on both sides, Republican Republican and Democratic training. But I would always encourage that you do that and you contact other women in office already, because we have a lot to share with you about that. So I've always felt like I just have to work hard, and like I said, I love the guys. I was a tomboy. I fit right in for the most part, but you really can see differences there, and I hope we can change that.
I just want to say one more thing to that too, is that I would really encourage any of you to get on the local boards and commissions, get on your library board, get on planning commission, get on boards and commissions first so that you begin to understand the process. Run for county commission. I don't think, it's glaringly apparent in the state legislature when you run into reps that have never ever served on a local board or commission. It takes them twice as long to get up to speed as to the process and how everything works. And a lot of times they're alienated in that process too. So get on local boards and committees and commissions, and then you begin to see how it all fits together.
This is a little bit of a detailed question, but I wanted to know whether any of you have heard of this. I'm a senior citizen on Medicare, and we have to sign up now by December 7th for the programs we're going to have for next year for our Medigap policies. Are you aware at all of the legacy program that Blue Cross Blue Shield has? The cost of it is somehow controlled because it's a nonprofit by Congress, and 4 years ago the governor made a deal with the president of Blue Cross Blue Shield to keep rates the same until 2016. And it looks like, from what we can tell, maybe June or July. I've been contacting my Congress people. I've been having everybody contact their people no matter where they are in the state. Have any of you heard anything about this?
I know about
We're
that.
talking about an increase of a couple $100s a month.
Okay, I don't think these first timers were there when this deal was cut.
Okay.
Am I right? You don't know about this.
Okay, it was 4 years ago.
In the reform of insurance due to the Affordable Care Act was coming down the pike, and the legislature wanted to get ahead of it, and I went to these hearings. They had to change the act that set up Blue Cross Blue Shield as a nonprofit and make them like all the other insurance companies. And the senior community pointed out that there was a reason that the rates were controlled for the senior citizen rates on insurance in the state. So they ended up, after all the bargaining and arguments and negotiations, they set aside, I believe it was $200 million to subsidize the Blue Cross Blue Shield legacy for 3 years. And so this is the year, the end of that 3 years, that the regular rates will kick in the legacy program. It may be called the same or something different, I don't know. But your low rate has been subsidized, and in this transition process for Blue Cross Blue Shield. And the Attorney General, I must say, was a great advocate for this subsidy of the legacy, Blue Cross Blue Shield legacy. And so now it's ending, and you're going to be in the same market with everybody else looking for a Medigap policy. But that's a little bit of the history, but it preceded 2015. I mean, it was 3 years ago that this went.
The policy has been around for a very long time.
Yes, and frankly, if you go to the website, the last time I was on the Blue Cross Blue Shield website, it's the last thing they mention, because they don't want new people buying into it, because it was cheaper.
It used to be very difficult.
Yeah, I'm also a part-time lobbyist for a senior organization, so that's why I followed the bill.
Okay, one more question, Beth?
So the point is that you're saying nothing could be done, or could something be done?
Could something be done?
No, I don't think so.
It's interesting with this question. It reminded me of all the times people would approach me about federal issues, and they didn't understand the difference between federal government and state government and what we are involved with and can control. Although this obviously is Michigan Blue Cross Blue Shield. But and my answer to the question about this disparity and how you're treated, frankly, I think the worst ones were some of my constituents. Old white men that just had a hard time with the outspoken woman representative. So that was where I had more difficulty than in Lansing itself. One more question, Beth? Anybody? One more question? Okay, well, we want to thank, there's a joke around Lansing that where all our names are really just representative. Well, representative, thank you, representative, thank you. And it's because, there's so many of them that they never really learn your name. But that's not true. We want to thank Representative Kathy Crawford and Representative Greig for their time and ideas, and truly, it has been very good to hear from both of you.
I did forget to mention that I'm actually a member of AAUW in the Farmington branch. I found out about AAUW about 3 years ago when I was at the Education Foundation, and I had never heard of AAUW. And I met someone at an interagency meeting in our community, and I thought, I've got to get involved in this group. American Association of University Women, that is great. And I just want to let you guys know that I would really market, as the membership chair too, really market to high school parents, women, because I was really involved in the PTA, and my youngest just graduated from high school last year. And it's just like, it's such a great next level after you're done with the kids in school. And I just think AAUW is a great organization. So I thank you for letting me be a member as well. Thanks for having me.
And thank you to Mary and Deb for helping with our panel discussion here. Just a few wrap-up things. Yvette Wernick, our state services manager, tries to stay in touch with all of our past presidents, and she's asked me to ask you, if you have contact information for the following 3 past presidents, please let her know. It's Joanne Snell, Elizabeth Davis, and Mildred Johnson. We do invite them all to our annual convention, and so we do need to know their contact information if we've lost it. I want to thank you all for coming. I think it has been a really informative day. I want to thank Northville Novi Branch for the work that they did in helping our VPA program put on this event today. I want to thank Janet Watkins, VP of Program, and her team for all of their efforts. And Erica Stout for making the trek from Washington, D.C. to be here today. And no doubt I have missed a boatload of people that I should be thanking, so please know that you are all appreciated. A little bit of administrative things. There is a box in the vestibule out there. There are 2 boxes in the vestibule out there, one for the evaluation forms and one for your name tags. We do reuse the folders for your name tags to help keep our costs down a little bit. Another admin item is, if you enjoyed the day today and you think that your branch could get around hosting a future leadership conference, please contact VP of Program Janet Watkins or me and/or President-elect Penny Larson. And thank you all for being here today. I hope you got as much out of it as I did. I blew it. I knew I'd missed something. One last announcement. Those SAC forms, Student Advisory Council forms that are on your tables, if you have ideas of ways that the Student Advisory Council can help you, please fill them out. They're looking for your input. Thank you.
see pamphlets. Always need these.
Oh, good. See you later.
That's suffragette.
Yes, you know, it's playing Monday night. I just found out in Livonia for free. Yeah, 7 o'clock. I think the Livonia AMC, because it doesn't come out until like November 13th.
Ooh, I want to go see that.
Not, but I was going to send out an email when I got home to everybody because I just found out yesterday. I'm going to double check with
I
Jan.
read the article when I was in Traverse City, and
About the movie?
yeah, it sounds like it's going to be.
Yes, I definitely want to see it. Well, you read my newsletter article how there's 13 movies coming out. I wrote them all down,
I got it.
and that's one of them.
Yeah, definitely. I got it.
And those are just the ones I want to see. You know, it doesn't
Always
include.
around the holidays.
I guess that's it. Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes, I love that Rochester group. I know, we just went. So your brain went out there or something, right? Yeah. Well, that's really fun. I know. These people stay recognized. Give him a hard time. Yeah, he's a freshman.
And she waited a while, but she
So this is more for management, is it? Yeah. One resignation. So even if we're
Bye, nice to meet you.